Hi everyone. This video is about how to draw the figure, in this case a female figure, and seen from the back. Um, she's got a very classic pose called contrapposto, where she's bearing her weight on her left leg. So I'll go through this video with you and we'll try and explain what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do. At this stage, I'm just simply blocking in. It's just feeling my way, but the main point is I've drawn a center line down, and you can see in the photograph that there's a center line drawn down her on that weight-bearing leg. So you know the figure is very relaxed in a sense, and not trying to be straight or anything like that. In my early art school days at Julian Ashton Art School, we were taught to use a plumb bob, you know, the lead weight with a pointy end attached to a bit of string, and we lined it up with the model very often, and it was amazing the differences in how far the hips might push out, or how much that one leg which is bearing the weight, sorry, how much that leg is supporting the figure. The other leg is quite relaxed, and it's just helping with balance. So when we have this sort of figure, we've got to observe that if it's a weight-bearing leg, the hips will be tilted up on the weight-bearing leg side, and the shoulders go the opposite. So it's all a matter of balance, but it does help to create the illusion of naturalness in the figure. And until you understand that, it's very hard to really get a natural pose in the figure. I've also divided the rectangle into thirds, and the reason for that is that it's a very good device for using for developing composition. So we'll just watch the video for a while, but I'd be so happy if you like it, if you could give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that, and it certainly is a big help to us. So we'll watch it now, and I'll try and explain as we go along. Yes, the figure, the camera is slightly higher than the figure, and so we've got a slight bit of distortion in the length of the legs. But you know, it is what it is. After all, we have to try and compensate for that slight problem. I usually go out into just the park, or anywhere there might be something interesting going on. In this case, there was a festival at just down the road at our local park, and there were many people there, and I like to take a shot, just a random shot. I find that I'm able to really, I can see things in the distance which it's so natural and so interesting. And I've done big paintings from very, very small images in the distance, no one that I've particularly focused on, but I search through and I find things there that it's a bit more realistic. I don't really like posing. Here you can see I've taken out the guidelines. We no longer need those. We may need that center line from time to time just to do some double checks. But I'm able here in Japan to get lots and lots of resources for photographic resources. As you understand, there's so many anime and manga artists here, and the resource industry is huge. So you can buy free copies. You can use any of these images as you wish. And I decided with this figure that I'd like to put her in a more interesting and remote place, perhaps. And so I got an image from one of the resource books that I have, and it was an interesting bridge, and I thought it created a bit of mood. I really like to try to tell a story. And of course, I've slimmed her down. I'm still not quite sure, to make an aesthetic picture, I have to use a bit of artistic license, because I just feel somehow that because of that camera distortion, that I'm not really getting exactly what I want. I want perhaps a more striking pose. But I'm using two kinds of pencils here, and I'd like to talk to you about how to really develop light lines. It's fundamental to this kind of drawing and illustration. So I switch from time to time to a mechanical pencil, which we should start to see any moment. Yes, so this mechanical pencil is a 0.3, and it's really it's a very brittle pencil. We'll come up to it soon enough. But yeah, don't make any definite statements when you're drawing like this, especially if you've got an image which is perhaps not perfect. I know lots of artists who you like to use grainy photographs and things like that for their inspiration. So I don't really like superposed pictures. I think that's a bit anachronistic now. And by the way, that plumb bob story that I mentioned, where we're using a lead weight, to find out the perfect vertical and check it against the model. That was used in the Renaissance times. So we're in good company. Okay, so now I've switched to my 0.3 mechanical pencil with a B lead, and let me tell you, if you practice drawing with this at least an hour a day, it might take you a couple of months, but you will develop the lightest touch. The little brains in your fingers will learn to adapt to the fact that the lead keeps breaking all the time. It's so hard to control that at first, but after a while it becomes very simple. It's a bit like if any of you play piano or guitar or anything like any musical instrument. When you first start off, you have trouble playing and switching from one chord to another, but after a while you get to do it, and it's really great. You have a sense of satisfaction, and I really encourage you to buy that 0.3 pencil and practice drawing with it every day. I'm not saying it's the only pencil to use, but it will help you to develop the ability to draw light lines. And the beauty, of course, of light lines is that we make sensitive drawings, even if they're a bit rough, can I say. The line work is still very sensitive. That yellow pencil is a Dixon Ticonderoga, an American pencil. They're very proud of its history. It's painted in some royal Chinese color, so that's very interesting. Right, starting to block in a bit of tone here, and using that pencil in this hatching way. I don't think I might break it once in the whole session. This session actually goes for about 50 minutes or more, so I haven't. I don't think I've broken it, but we'll see. It's fantastic, as I mentioned, for developing sensitivity. Now I'm just drawing that arm, and you might see that there's a little triangle space there, and in the cubital area of her arm, and that space is fantastic for you to learn to see two ways when you're drawing the figure or anything. Still life, it doesn't really matter. Whatever you're drawing, try to see spaces made by the shapes and try to focus on those spaces rather than trying to try to draw the leg or the arm, because it's very daunting if that's the case, because it's a sort of psychological thing, I guess. But when we're drawing more abstract shapes in the spaces, if we're drawing those spaces, they're quite a abstract sort of image. That eraser there's a little Japanese eraser. It's got a very fine point on it. It's a mono zero eraser made by Tombow, a Japanese company, and it's very, very handy. I'm breaking a rule for hair specialists here. I'm just blocking in tone. I'm not really concerned so much with getting the strands. What I'm more interested in is a tonal drawing which is free. The image was photographed on a fairly grey sort of day, so there's not a huge amount of contrast, but there are some little points which you can see I'm trying to emphasize, but I want to make something more out of this. So we're coming to the end, and I'd like to ask you to please subscribe to this channel. I'm an art teacher. I was working as an art teacher for years in Australia, and also I taught at high school and at college level. And I really am here to make a lot of videos about drawing anything. And so I would love to have some followers, some subscribers who could let me know what sort of things they'd like. I'm quite happy. I can draw anything, so I can draw and paint in oils, watercolor, whatever. But I'd love to know what kind of images you'd like me to produce. I'll be developing a curriculum which is based hopefully on the sorts of requests that you might have out there. So please subscribe, and please make sure you give me that thumbs up if you could, and make sure if you could, I'd love some comments from you. Now, as you can see, I made a few changes. I closed the camera down to, beg your pardon, I started drawing and got carried away, I must say. I lengthened the legs. I had to do it. I couldn't help myself. But I hope you forgive me for making a major change right at the end of the video. But if you see something that's wrong, it's no use trying to patch it up. You'll never get it right. You have to be radical. And I just rubbed those the lower part of her legs out and decided, to do something more with the figure. I certainly hope you got something out of this. I love teaching, and I love relating to people about art. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye for now.